Hey, welcome to Come On You Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Tottenham. Today we are previewing the 175th North London derby between Arsenal and Tottenham, taking place at the Emirates Stadium. Kickoff 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon. To preview this with me, I have Chuma, our resident guru, and I also have a guest from the red side of North London. Well, should we say South London? But hey, we'll keep it we'll keep it North for a minute. They will join us on the other side. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs. Welcome back. We've got Chuma, our regular in-house guru, as we like to call him. And like I said earlier on, we have a guest from the other side. We have Charles. Charles, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for having me here. It's an honor.
Beautiful. Chuma, another North
Well,
London derby, eh?
I'm fabulously blessed as always. And then we move on to the housekeeping for the channel. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, or if you're returning after a long time, please click on the subscribe button if you've not subscribed, the notification bell to let you know anytime we put out content, and just smash the like button for the algorithm. Thank you very much, and come on, you Spurs.
Thank you so much, Chuma. Right. Back to the business. Now, where do we start? North London Derby. This looks like it's going to be a really super one for so many reasons, and we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about the key battle areas. We're going to talk about, who to keep an eye out for. Of course, we're going to predict the scoreline and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, but let's just start with this. Now, why is this one so unique? I mean, let's hear from the other side first and see why do you think it's so unique? I mean, because North London Derby is a special day for both teams, right? Every team wants to win, and it's a bragging right and all sorts of stuff. Last season we had, I think that was beginning of Conte's downward spiral, if you like, because we went up to you guys and I think you won. Was it 3-1 or? Yeah, I think it was 3-1.
Yeah. 3-1.
Yeah, and then we had Emerson sent off in that match. It was a bit of a humbling thing for us at that point in time, because before that, I think we were doing probably about second in the league at the time before that match. But here, I mean, it was like a turning point in our season, from that perspective. So from your perspective, Charles, what do you think? Let's go with you first. You're the home team.
Well, it is obviously the North London Derby is very important for both sides. We know that, but I think why is really this particular one is really important. I think it kind of brings us back to where we were last season, where you guys were unbeaten, we were also unbeaten, and we met, right? And we won the battle there. And obviously, from there on, we know what happened with you guys, with your manager. Now we're in the same scenario again, where you're unbeaten, we're unbeaten. So, what's it going to be? Is this now going to be a comeback from Spurs? You know what I mean? Like, oh, last year was a fluke. We're coming back, right? Or is this actually going to be the same thing that happened last year, just to show that, hey, it's normal.
Right.
This is the script, So yeah, it's very important.
Let's hear from Chuma. I mean, Chuma, you probably have a slightly different perspective to this. I mean, understandably so.
No,
Hey,
I would say it's unique now because I think Arsenal are peaking in their powers now. Last year, like the year before, we pipped them for the Champions League place. You could see development in Arsenal, and you could see they were getting better. Last year they challenged, so now they've gone from being fifth to now actually being proper challengers, and so now they've tasted being at the top now, and you can see from how they are playing now that they are consistent. it's not just winning and then they probably lose or draw. Arsenal are a consistent thing. They are building up to try to become the next superpower after Man City. And
Mm.
with Spurs, we have only just rediscovered who we used to be, our style. Spurs have always been a stylish flair club. You know, we may not win trophies, but we play very well. But we lost that under the last three managers. And even though Conte got us the Champions League place, it was many felt it was more to do with Arsenal losing momentum towards the end of that season. And then last season, Arsenal just really they just cross that line where they now know exactly who they are and their identity. So I think it's a battle of identity in my opinion. I think Arsenal have an identity now and Spurs are just trying to discover their identity, but it's working quicker than we expected it to be. It's only been since July that Ange Postecoglou is coming and you can already see how the upward trajectory of Spurs. But Arsenal are already kind of where we want to get to. So it's going to be quite interesting to see that.
That's an interesting perspective, and I was going to sort of bring in the what I call the Ange factor, if you like, and if you don't know if you know this, but the title for this preview is Angeball tests Arteta, so see how Angeball will test Arteta this time round. I mean, and we've had this old, I won't call it quite old, it's more like people have said that Ange is copying Pep in the way that he plays, sets up his team, the way that he's aggressive in the press, in the way that he sort of does the embattled fullbacks and all that sort of thing, right? But we know that that's not the case. I mean, he's done this like forever, even before Pep became a coach. So yeah, it's like he's been at this sort of type of play for such a long time. But the Ange factor, if you like, and the fact that Arteta as well also is a Pep disciple, if for a better expression, but I mean, obviously worked under Pep for a very long time, and it sort of set up his teams to be like front foot type football, and we haven't seen front foot football since Pochettino days in Tottenham, and we now have a manager who everyone can tell that this guy wants to go out and smash guys. He just wants to go out and just demolish teams. Press them to death. Put your foot on their neck and just don't make. But this is the first big real test, if you like. Okay, we had people said that Man U was going to be the big test, and it came and it went. Was like, oh really? Where's the test? Now, is that going to be the case again, or this is going to be a different kettle of fish? Because we're playing away at one of the top 6 teams, right? And obviously rivals, of course. I mean, not non-rivals, and we haven't won there in a very, very long time. So the odds kind of seem weighed very much against us. Chuma, we have this theory about Ange breaking barriers and generational curses.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. So far, we had the 12:30 problem. Like Spurs always lose matches played at 12:30. We've conquered that.
I mean, so
Spurs had.
let me give guys a bit of a background to this, right? So
Okay.
yeah, it is right. I mean, you're a football fan. You know that every fan, they have their jinxes, they have their their superstitions as to think that things that don't work well when certain things happen. And I remember when I used to go to Tottenham matches, right? I would only park in one location, right? If I don't park in that
The day you
location,
didn't park.
And now 9 times out of 10, we always end up losing if I didn't park at that location. Or I had to sort of routine, right? If I didn't do that routine that time, we just lost. And Spurs fans have come up with this thing to say that what's the word? That they have, what's that expression called now? 12:30 matches, we don't do so well, right?
Manager of the month.
Matches away to Arsenal, we don't do so well.
We don't do so well. Manager of the month.
Manager of the month.
Award.
When you win the manager of the month award,
we lose the next game or the manager gets sacked.
Yeah. So that's how it's been. So, and I mean, so far, Ange has broken 2 of those jinxes. That's the background. Sorry, carry on, please. Sorry.
Yeah, no, so we look at him as a generational curse breaker, and like I said, it's I think he also enjoys it. If you listen to his press conferences, he always talks about the challenge and he enjoys the challenge, and he said like joining Spurs was a huge challenge. A team that hasn't won any trophies or anything in a while. He's here to do work to get them to that point. So that's where he comes in. He has this fresh enthusiasm. I don't think he suffered any trauma because Mourinho and Conte had been burnt in England before. Mourinho won the title twice with Chelsea. I mean, three times with Chelsea, two different spells. But he'd been humbled in this country. Teams had beaten him. Certain managers had done him as well. He was losing his aura. He went to Man United. Conte, the same thing. He won the league with Chelsea, but the next year he came fifth. He really suffered that next year. So these guys all had previous history, but Ange's coming in clean and clear of any history, and he's built up this almost cult-like following, even amongst rival fans. Like Charles is here now. Charles admires him. Well, not admires him, but Charles at least gives him that thing. We're talking off air. Like Charles understands that this guy has really changed you guys. It's kind of like we wish him well, but we don't wish him well when he plays Arsenal. That's kind of like where he is among some Arsenal fans I know at work as well. It's the same thing. They're like, the guy is good, the guy is doing stuff, but we want to take you guys out. So I don't know what Charles thinks about that, the Ange factor.
Well, it's a big and surprising factor. I'm not even gonna lie. Real talk, because I would say what really shows the quality of your manager is the fact that when you lose a big player like Kane, really people would expect that you are having a dip, and you're gonna, even if you're coming back, it will take time, right? But that's not what has happened in this incident. In this incident, you lose Kane, a big player for you guys for years, a legend, and next thing, boom, you shoot up. Like it just doesn't happen. It means that is solely the manager. That's the way I look at it, you know. But of course, it's still early days. It's 5 games in now, so
Yeah,
uh, this doesn't mean. I mean, what I would say going forward, because the good thing about Tottenham fans is you guys are still not like Chelsea fans, and stuff like that, where they are not ready to give anyone time. You guys probably didn't even have any expectations this season, so this is it's coming really good for you guys. Just give him time to do his thing, man. That's what I think. I think he's a very good manager. I'm not even gonna lie about it, and that's the thing that probably scares me about the game. I'm always scared when we face you guys. I'm an Arsenal fan telling you guys that, right? Because it's a derby. Anything can happen. You know what? You could have plans and everything, but they're all thrown outside the window when we meet.
I
You know
know.
what I mean?
Form goes
And
out the
that's
window
why,
in the derby, doesn't it?
yeah, form just goes exactly. The only thing that I'm hanging on to is the fact that we're a different breed now. We're like Chuma said. I believe that we have big plans on moving forward, and challenging Man City, and that's how we see ourselves. And also the record at the Emirates. That for me is what I'm hanging on to, and I would love to see them prove me right in terms of that. But there's no way, there's no Arsenal fan that has a bit of fear, thinking, my goodness, Ange doing this, there's always going to be that little fear there. But I'm still confident with my team.
Great stuff. So, Chuma, we have
yeah.
Ange factor, Arteta factor. Let's look at Arteta factor. Arteta has been phenomenal for Arsenal. I mean, in terms of where he's got them to. I mean, even though he kind of had a bit of a stutter, I mean, over I think one or 2 years on this journey. I mean, sticking with him so far, I mean, has reaped his benefit for you guys, hasn't it? I mean,
He has, indeed.
Charles.
He
Arteta.
definitely has. Yeah, about Teta, he definitely has. And to be fair, I am, like Chicks was saying earlier, I'm a big fan of Arteta. I mean, I'm talking about even when people did not. I'm talking of 3 years ago, where people were like sack him and stuff like that. There was just something about him that I really liked. I liked him as a player as well, though he wasn't a massive, big player for us, but there was something about him. And I think what I really like is progression. And that's what I find that people don't like seeing in football, or they dismiss it. You know, when I look at the season where you guys picked us for fourth, everyone was expecting Arsenal to become fourth, and it was surprising as well that we were getting there, but you guys picked us at the end. So everyone just dismissed it because hey, they didn't hit their goal, so hey, throw them in the bin, right? Next season we shoot again. This time is champions. Da, 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 da. They didn't make it, so put them in the bin. And I think that's the mistake people are making with Arteta. What I see from there is a pattern of progress that he's pushing and breaking boundaries, but in a progressive way. Not obviously, Ange is coming the other way where he's going. It looks like he's just going boom straight up, yeah, which is what people like. The microwave effect. Hey, I want my meal right now. you know, but that, like I said, I'm just telling you why I really rate him, and I think that he's going to be very successful for Arsenal because of that progression. And if he has broken these boundaries, I expect that he will go and break more boundaries. So that's why I feel he will be taking this game really serious. And trust me, his eyes is definitely on Ange. I think I've already seen his interview today, and he spoke highly about him. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Ange, right? I mean, Ange has um, this personality that's been um, almost like breath of fresh air, you know?
Infectious as well.
And it's like, I mean, you're seeing fans, I mean, even rival fans from Arsenal saying that they wish they could hit this guy, but he's such a fantastic fella, you know? He's such a you can tell that he's a really really passionate person. He's a decent human being. He's a lovely bloke, you know, and it's that sort of person that you want in a team. And as a Tottenham fan, I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know, oh my god, you know. And we've come up with a name for him on our forum. I mean, what's that name, Chuma?
We also say Angianapolis. Yanning. He likes to yarn. He likes to yarn, which is Nigerian slang. For those of you out there that know, yarning is talking. He just talks so Angianapolis. And Yiannapolis, the Polish part is being a Greek. So a guy likes to yarn. You know, and it's sweet to listen to. You
Yeah,
know, he's I think the word I would say is he's infectious. He's an infectious guy, and he's an infectious guy just by being himself.
absolutely,
With
absolutely.
Mourinho, sometimes you always look at Mourinho like Mourinho is putting on a show because he's trying to deflect the attention from his team. So he's playing a character. A lot of people who know Mourinho say he's a really kind-hearted guy and he's really caring, but you see the character he plays. Ange doesn't have time for that. Ange tells you how it is. You're playing, you're not playing. I like you. I think it comes down to, we've said this several times on the show, what he said to James Madison when Madison was thinking about signing. And he spoke to Madison and he said, look, I'm going to turn this club into a great club. If you're here or if you're not here. If you're here, good. If you're not here still, I will still do it. And James Madison was like taken aback, like, wow, I take confidence on this guy. But it's not confidence, it's the fact that he's done it before. And that's the thing. People are dismissing him because he did it in Australia, he did it in Japan, and he did it in Scotland. But all three of us here on this call, we know what experience is like in professional setting. That the more experience you have the 10,000 hours and everything. All these things are things. He takes a lot of feedback. He's a man who moves clubs without taking coaches with him. He gets a fresh set of coaches and still implements the same football. So he's telling you it's all in his head, you know. But piggybacking on what Charles said earlier on about Arteta, I make fun of Arteta. I always call him like Diet Pep and all that stuff because even down to the fashion, even down to the fashion as well. He wears the black and black, slim fit clothes and all that stuff, but it's still his style. That was already Arteta. Arteta always used to dress like that as well, but it looks cloned like Pep. But you know, if everybody thinks they can copy Pep Guardiola, I think it's kind of like, you know, Charles. Okay, so I'll give you background. So Charles used to play basketball. Charles is an avid basketball fan, so Charles will click onto this. It's like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan is
Yeah.
great. Kobe Bryant was
Yeah.
great as well, and Kobe Bryant was like the part B to Michael Jordan being part A. If Michael Jordan is A, Kobe Bryant is B. Is the closest thing to Michael Jordan. Arteta is the closest thing to Pep Guardiola. I can actually say that on this show in terms of how he deploys his team and how he makes them. The difference between Ange and him is we move towards the ball. I don't know if that makes any sense. Our players move towards the ball. He does the same thing Pep does. The ball moves to their positions and he knows how to position his players. But we do the opposite. Ange deliberately likes his players moving with the ball more. So I think that's where the clash of philosophies will be in this game. He's still trying to implement positional football. Ange is doing positional, but it's more movement, more players trying to take on, and you can see that epitomized in like Bissouma. Bissouma carries the ball a lot, and as compared to Arsenal, where you have Partey and the rest of it, they just keep moving, pass, pass, pass. Odegaard
It
comes in,
it
gets the
kind
ball.
it kind of brings me to sort of when you start talking about Bissouma and individual players. So where are the key battle areas in this match? That's what I want to know. Charles, I mean, you tell me. You guys have been at it for a while. You've even you spent, 115 million, 105 million on rice. On jollof rice.
Jollof
What's
rice,
going on here?
jollof rice.
Oh, you already said it. You guys already said it. Like, Bissouma has been one of your best players. In fact, he's showing what he should have been last season, basically. So we're seeing the real player now, which for you guys is like having a new player, which is a good thing. I think that's going to be a key battle. How he manages the midfielders like Odegaard, how he tries and stifles him or stops the attacking midfielders. And for us, Rice, obviously, who I think has really, really steadied the ship for Arsenal because, I mean, many people doubted what Rice would bring, but we already see a difference between him and Partey. Not that they can't both play together, but there's something that he brings. Sometimes it's better to have someone that just gives 7, 8%. I mean, 7, 8 out of 10 every single game and doesn't make mistakes or rarely makes mistakes. You need that kind of player in the midfield, and that's what I feel I see in him. Pate, he's great. He carries the ball forward as well. He has, very good, ball skills, but he also makes mistakes. And sometimes when you don't expect him to, and the last thing which I'm not really sure about, I'm still questioning. I don't know whether it's an age thing. You know how us African footballers we have football age. So, what I don't know is if he has legs still like that. So running back could sometimes be a problem. But for Rice, ooh, man, you have to. Madison just has to. If he's always moving forward, he has to be looking back just to make sure where's Rice. Because Rice, even if you leave him, he's coming back for you. So I love that about Rice. So I think that's going to be the midfield battle. I really look forward to that. What's going to happen there? And I think another battle would be the wings. Seeing how they play against Saka. Your is it your left back, right? I don't even know who your left back is.
Doge.
You'll find out.
I'll
You'll
find
find out.
out. Okay,
You'll
I'll
find
find
out.
out.
That actually for me. So for me, that is one of two key battles. So Bissouma is one
Mm.
you've already mentioned him. It's actually Saka versus Udogi. Now you haven't noticed Udogi because the kid is playing on. I can honestly say he's top three left backs in the league right now. But a lot of Arsenal fans probably wouldn't see it that way because they don't watch him. But if you watch every game, this guy gives us 8, not 7 out of 10. He gives us 8 out of 10. Rarely gets beaten. Very athletic. He attacks like crazy. He can go two ways because he's a wing back, but he's now playing left back, playing inverted. So he goes forward. But the other side of it for me is, and I spoke to Soji about this offline, is in terms of right back, if you're playing Martinelli or whoever it is that's going to come on that left, I don't know if I trust Porro to be very good defensively. That has been Porro's problem. Porro is very good in build up, Porro is very good in the attacking phase for Tottenham as a right back or inverted right back. But when it comes to defending and balls behind, Porro he loses concentration, he loses his man, and that's where Emerson Royale comes in. Emerson Royale is not the greatest right back in the world. He's not the greatest wing back in the world, but he is defensively sound and he's a physical presence in the back. So I look at it that way, and he gels very well in those kind of situations. I don't know. I think Ange might gamble and bring back Emerson Royale. That's what I think may happen, and just to try and keep Arsenal's left forward busy. Now, the question I'm going to ask Charles is, the huge question we're going to ask, to Kai Havertz or not Kai Havertz? Because that I think is huge. Because if Kai Havertz is playing, I think Trossard doesn't, and it's Trossard that I'm thinking. Trossard has been quite impressive. So, what do you think? Are you Kai Havertzing or are you going to Trossard instead,
Well,
or Vieira?
first of all, before I answer that, I want to even touch on this topic Kai Havertz because I don't understand the rave against Kai Havertz. I really don't. I mean, yes, he had a good game in Champions League, but the other games have been below par. I get that. However, maybe it's my blind trust for Arteta. I feel for a manager to actually go and spend 65 million on a player, and there's someone that spent on players that no one believed or trusted or felt like, oh my goodness, what's this guy doing? He's out of his depth. And yet they've proven that they are now quality players. And he goes and gets that for Havertz. I think people should be scared. Because just because you don't know what the outcome is, you should be worried. So I think Kai Havertz needs time, though. That's what I think. That's my personal opinion. Now, the reason why I feel Kai Havertz is not going to be the player to play this, in midfield in the 11, it might happen, but he played a full 90 minutes, I think, that's in the Champions League game, if I'm not mistaken. He played
Yeah.
a full 90 minutes. We saw the people Arteta actually took out, so that maybe gives you an indication of what's going to happen. And Vieira also started the last game prior to the Champions League, so the one against Everton. So I expect Vieira to start in midfield, which for me I think is better because having Vieira and Odegaard, I can't see us losing the ball, that's losing the ball a lot, which is what you want to try and minimize. You want people that are going to really protect and hold the ball, and so that we can play our positional play well. That is actually what is our attack, and also to an extent our defense, keeping the ball from
Hello,
the
can you hear me?
position. So
Hello?
I think that's what he's going to play. Yeah, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Oh, you can. Okay.
I can hear
Hi.
you. Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know.
You
Soji, can you hear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So I think it's going to be Vieira, not Havertz.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to pick it up. Okay.
So I think he's on something else. Yeah, but so you think
All right.
you're saying Havertz is going to play, and Havertz won't play this game, but you're thinking more Vieira and you're thinking more possession, right? Okay, no, I can see that, and
also,
Go on.
I see what's his name? How can I forget my player's name? It's crazy. Oh goodness, I cannot believe I'm forgetting
Martinelli, Saka,
Trossard.
Okay.
I can't believe I forgot Trossard's name. All right, so Trossard, I expect he's also going to start. That's my
Ahead of
expectation
Martinelli.
because Martinelli, yes, he had that injury scare. I would love Martinelli to come back, but if he's not ready, then I expect Trossard. And at the moment, I'm thinking he might not be ready. He might be on the bench, though. You know what I mean?
Hello?
He has not been. Yeah.
For 34?
Hello?
Trossard. So you're a Trossard.
So you want Trossard, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
guys, I mean, I know this technology can be a bit funny sometimes, you know, because you find that things just sort of take a different edge when it comes to broadcasting. But we're back now. Look, let's just sort of focus on who are your key players to look out for in this match. I mean, that's where you were talking about
Okay.
Trossard, right? Who else? I mean, yeah, we had a bit about Udogie, and you were saying that a lot of them people don't know Udogie yet, and maybe when they get to start to watch us on a regular basis, they will probably appreciate what we see with him on a regular basis. Now, let me just say this, right? Udogie is 20 years old, right? It's 2020, not 2034. You know, it's 20. Like it looks like, but he's a beast of a player. He has presence. He's got guile, and he can bump forward, and is very very good defensively as well. So for somebody who is so young, I just look at that is going to be a key battle area in that match, in my view, because it's going to be up against Saka, right? Saka is skillful without any question. I don't know why he's playing for England, but hey, that's another matter entirely. But hey,
So you're playing for Nigeria, right?
well, because I'm sorry, guys, but
Put it
look,
out there.
I'm of Nigerian heritage, so yes, I mean you expect that he will come and play for Nigeria, but hey, there you go. But on Sunday, I think it will be an interesting battle to see how that works out. Bissouma and Rice, we said that's going to be one hell of a battle there in the midfield as well. But Maddison is up against Odegaard, isn't he? Right? Let's see what happens in that area, And Pape Matissa, that young man is so underrated, and I think he's going to play a key role in this match.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he plays or he might bring in Højbjerg. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how Ange sees how things.
I think Matissa plays because of his legs. I think he runs very quickly, covers a lot of ground, and if, like Charles says, they're trying to keep possession and they're going to play Vieira, it would be very interesting to see Pape Matissa hunting down Vieira. If it was Havertz, I would say Havertz physically is as tall as he is. So Havertz could use size to sort of body and shield the ball. But Vieira is like very flair, small player, so smaller than Sarr anyway. So it'll be very interesting if he's the one. Trossard, like I said earlier on, I think Trossard is someone I like. Trossard is a very effective player. He's one of those guys. He reminds me, like, even though he's Belgian, he reminds me of a German. He's just one of those guys. One chance, one goal. He's that kind of player. So I look at him as well. But for us, there's the Son factor as well. Sonny likes to play against Arsenal. Sonny pops against Arsenal regularly, even in losses. Even we've always lost 3-1, 2-1. Son always scores. So it'll be interesting to see what Arteta does with his back line as well. Because I think that's been an issue for a while as well. Gabriel was dropped for a period. I don't know if it was because he was flirting with Saudi or not flirting with Saudi. And Saliba he's adjusted his back line, but I think Arteta's brought it back to basics now with Ben White playing right back. And Ben White really helps Saka. So if you can find a way to stifle Ben White to not come to Saka's aid, or at least cover the same space as Saka, I think you can try to contain Saka. We know where Saka is going. That's the problem. He's getting better at telegraphing where he's going and still doing the thing. And we have Kulusevski, who I think Kulusevski does quite the same thing as well. You know where he's going, but Kulusevski is more creative. Saka is just going for the kill, and if he smells blood, early, I think those are the battles for me. And then if you come to the goalkeepers, I think Raya is the guy now. I think Ramsdale is done. They say, well, it's rotation. I don't think it's rotation. I think it's Raya. I saw Raya pinging some passes. I was like, yeah, it's done. It's done. I think Raya now has the shirt. And Vicario, people doubted him, the Italian number 2 goalkeeper. We got him, and Vicario has proved a lot of people wrong. A lot of people said he'll be shaky. Vicario has come into, he's a sensation, especially he loves to save with his feet. He punches really good, and he stood up to the physical presence. So both keepers, I think, are almost on a par with each other. But Raya has that experience, and Raya, I think, helps Arsenal with their build up a lot.
That's interesting. Now, I know that the way Ange plays positive possession football, and he's right up the pitch. He wants to keep the ball within your third, that's your playing third of the opponents, and close down transitions and prevent turnovers very, very quickly, And again, when you lose the ball, we sort of get it back so quickly. It's like, this like the classic old Barcelona type, those get pressing in those days, right? And that has been the feature of our play this season. Now, I mean, if we're are we going to be able to execute the same thing against Arsenal, who, in a way, play like that as well, because they play plenty of possession football. But I'm just trying to figure out. What do you think, Charles? Do you think we're going to be able to sort of do the same thing to you guys as we've done to other teams so far this season? As in, come up, play you like and just basically have possession in your half and generally not give up and keep pressing. You think it's going to happen, or you guys are going to be like playing on the counter attack?
That is, I think, what most people are waiting to see. What actually happens there? Like, who's gonna actually be the one to back down? If you guys win that battle in terms of possession, I know Arsenal is very adaptable, because I've seen Arsenal do that in the last 2 years with teams that also are good in possession. Brighton, Man City, we know how to adapt. Now that's something we haven't seen with Spurs, right? So if probably you guys go that way and you're not able to adapt, then you could be ticked off by a team like Arsenal, and that's another thing that we will be looking at. So yeah, it does depend on you know who wins that battle in the midfield. I think the midfield is very key, very very key, and that will determine things in this game. The people that win the midfield battle will be the ones that probably win the possession game as well. I think that's what I see from it. It's like one will have to play counter attack, if that happens. It's going to be very interesting. I'm not really an expert in these things when it comes to tactics, but that's what I actually I'm excited to see, like what actually happens, who wins that battle, and more likely whoever wins that battle is more likely to probably win the game if they can hold out, so we'll see.
Chuma,
Yeah.
I don't want us to do score lines just yet because it's probably one of those things where we're hardly gonna agree on what the article scoreline is. I know what I think the scoreline would be, but before we get to the scorelines, we've spoken about the Arteta effect on the team. We've spoken about Ange and his good nature and all that sort of thing, right? But we haven't really spoken about his tactics per se, as in, okay, um, he sets up either a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 or a variation of either of those, and essentially you have the fullbacks, inverting and all sorts of stuff going on at different points in the pitch, and it's very flexible and adaptable. And you find that, and we've said this before, whereby he's got Madison coming back, picking up the ball, distributing from left, from right. So it's very, very difficult to pick up. So you never know who is where and when. The question from our perspective, from Tottenham's perspective, is this, right? What is he going to play? One, is he going to play Richarlison, given that Richarlison has been in good form? Well, he's scored a goal, and made and had an assist in a very, very, critical match. Well, not critical, but at least the way the match played out. The atmosphere and the importance of a turnaround so late in the game would have done absolutely nothing. Great stuff for his confidence, right? Now, the question is, do you take that sort of confidence and bring him back into the team straight away, or again bring him on as a game changer towards the end? What would you think? What do you think he will do?
I think if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. And Son has history against Arsenal, so I think he'll keep it the same. What Richarlison proved in that last match is he's capable of scoring, and the fact he did that as an impact sub has boosted his morale to no end. So I think he's looking
the other thing,
to come on as soon as he comes
sorry
on
to interrupt
stage.
you. What a lot of people probably fail to notice, I don't know if they noticed this, is the fact of how he scored that goal, because all people just saw was a header. But the key was that the starting position, he ended up there, but it started like almost like on the penalty spot.
On the
You know?
penalty spot, yeah, he pushed his guy and ran
And
to
lost his
that
marker
area.
and then got himself in that position. You know,
Yeah.
of course, a great corner from Perisic, who unfortunately is not available for us this
It's missing.
this
Exactly.
match. But then again, I mean, we have Mount Solomon. We have who else do we have there? We have Mr. Davies, and I can do a good job as well, can't he?
Yeah, no. The thing about it is, I think he will start with Mano Solomon, Son, and Kulusevski in his front three because it worked. It worked very well. It also allows Madison to do his thing because the three of them can dovetail in and around Arsenal's box. Madison can come deeper to get the ball as opposed to staying in and around the box. So I think that for me, I think is the key. Arsenal defensively are very sound, but piggybacking once again on what Charles said, I remember the FA Cup final that Arteta won his first trophy with Arsenal. And I remember Chelsea had mad possession. Chelsea were attacking. Pulisic was on fire. And all Arsenal kept doing was they just kept playing behind the high line. And Tottenham are playing a very, very high line. And even though we've got Mickey van de Ven and Romero, who are no slouches, that ball behind the line, and you've got Saka running, you've got Gabriel Jesus running, it could really catch you out. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I think that Arsenal have enough weapons in their arsenal. Well, I was going to say Arsenal, no pun intended. They have enough weapons in their arsenal to hurt people. However, I think it's something Ange will take into consideration. Ange wants to out possession you, if that's a word, because that's what he did. That's what made his name when he was in Yokohama Mariners against Man City. He's one of only two managers to have completed a game with more possession than Pep Guardiola. One of two or three. I think three, maybe. But that's his thing. And I think he's going to come to Arsenal to try and prove a point that he can hold on to possession against Arsenal. He's done it to Ten Hag with against Manchester United. Nobody believed that. He did that. I think he's going to try and do that. And he's going to really want to win that like Charles said, win that midfield battle. And whoever wins that battle stands a good chance. It still doesn't mean you're going to win the game, because if Arsenal are playing back to front, Arsenal have pacey guys. Anything's possible. But in Ange, like I said, in Ange I trust. So that's it.
Beautiful.
Uh,
Go on, Charles.
Go on, Charles.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that because you guys were having a chat about with Charleston. I hope you guys play because I don't rate him personally, and that's not that's not because you guys signed him. By the way, I never rated him in Everton. In fact, he was one of those kind of players. I don't know. There's this thing, and Chicks, you probably know that about me. There's this thing about arrogant players I just don't like. I saw him as an arrogant player in Everton.
Confidence, my brother. It's confidence. It's confidence.
Nice, arrogant.
It's
There's some people.
thin line.
Do you remember Bentner? Do you remember Bentner?
Oh yeah, Lord Bentner, of course. Lord Bentner. Well,
Exactly.
Lord Bentner wasn't arrogant. It was delusion. There's a difference. There's a difference. It's delusion. That wasn't arrogance. It's delusion. The guy believed his own hype, and I loved him for it. I loved him for it. He believed he was the greatest striker in the world.
Seriously, that's what he reminds me of. Because
Richarlison is
that is low. That is low, Charles. Come on, you know.
Richarlison is Lord Bentner. My gosh.
I'm serious. When you guys actually bought Richarlison, I was like, why? Like, because he played what? I mean, I was trying to understand because I never saw him as a threat in everything. I felt he was, in fact, that was his level. That's what I thought personally. But hey, it's your team, so if you guys rate him.
Ironically, there are some Spurs
score.
fans that actually think Everton was his level. So some Spurs fans that agree with you wholeheartedly, and they would ship him out at a moment's notice if they could. So you're not alone in that, even amongst my fan base as well. So
listen, if you're here for the first time, this is Come On You Spurs TV. Subscribe, hit the notification bell button, like, and leave a comment. If you agree with our suggestions so far, let us know what you think. It will be great to hear from you. Now, let's just have a quick look at the scoreline, or predict the scoreline. Let's have a go at predicting the scoreline. Charles, do you want to go first on this one? You're the home team, you know.
I think it's going to be 3-1 to Arsenal.
2-1 or
That's my
3-1?
prediction. 3-1.
3-1.
Arsenal.
So we'll concede 3 goals and score only 1 goal, right? Right. Do you want to predict scorers?
Your goal might be a penalty. Your goal might be a penalty.
Right. So who are you predicting to score for you guys?
I think Jesus is going to score. I
Right.
actually think that's one player I didn't even mention as
As a
he's
threat.
like a wild card.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a wild card. He's someone that can change a team's plan, like when you come against Arsenal, because he's very unpredictable and he helps the players, the attacking players around him. So he's definitely one player that I think he's going to thrive in this game, and that's why I feel he's going to score. And I think another person that will score is probably Odegaard and Trossard. Those are my goal scorers.
Okay. If you agree, Charles is predicting 3-1 to the Gunners in the match on Sunday afternoon, kickoff 2 p.m. Let's hear from you, Chuma.
Well, I think it's 2-1. I think one, there are going to be goals in this game anyway, regardless of which way it swings. But I think 2-1. I think Arsenal will score first, and they will be lulled into a false sense of security, and Tottenham will come back, equalize, and then score. Arsenal will panic and throw everything at us, but unfortunately, they won't be able to break us down. And the goal scorers, I would put down. I think Kulusevski's gotten a taste for it now. I think I've been watching his training videos. I think Kulusevski's feeling himself now, and Madison, because if there's a free kick opportunity as well, Arsenal have been known to foul people, you know, mistakenly in and around their box. I think Madison curls one in because Madison is also one of the best free kick takers. At least he's been one of the most effective in the last couple of years while he was at Leicester, and he's yet to score one for Tottenham. So let's see if that happens. But I think 2-1. I think a 2-1, but it'll be an end to end kind of game at some different points.
Wait,
Interesting.
2-1 to who?
2-1 to Tottenham. Kulusevski and Madison.
Okay.
Kulusevski and Madison. And I predict I agree the same thing with you. I think Gabriel Jesus scores one because he's going to be playing off the shoulder. I think he scores one. But Tottenham scored two. Kulusevski and Madison 2-1.
I don't know why you guys are so conservative today, but I'm going to go totally different way today, right? I think Tottenham are going to smash Arsenal on Sunday, and it's going to be a big surprise. I'll tell you the reason why, right? Even though Ange is new, of course, there's a lot of love for him and all that sort of thing, right? There's still that's almost like, don't worry, we'll beat them, that sort of thing. Oh yeah, it's only Tottenham, that sort of thing, right? And every time he comes out, he confounds a lot of those statistics. Now, I don't know if you've seen the matches that we played so far. You see us play, and you think to yourself, "My goodness, one day a team is going to get a big tonking, right?" And I think that team is going to be Arsenal to start with, and that's going to be where the shock is going to lie, you know. And because no one's expecting us to go for you guys the way we want to go for you guys tomorrow and on Sunday. And Ange has this philosophy of don't stop, keep going, you know. Even if you want me to just keep going, you know. And that's the philosophy that they've all keyed and bought into. So I'm going to go for 4-0, right?
Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime. I told you, Charles.
I like your face. I like your face.
I'm going to go for 4-0 Tottenham, you know. And,
he's going to walk. He's going to walk on water next.
I know, right?
Straight up, Optimus Prime.
And
never fails.
And Richarlison to score a brace, you know. Yeah,
Richarlison score a brace.
Yeah, Richarlison score a brace and
You know
continue
what?
scoring from.
If that actually happens, I'll be Arteta out.
We'll hold you to it. You've been your record. This is live.
You hold me on it.
Yeah, okay.
You hold me on it because
so you heard it here first, right?
You heard it here. Come on, you Spurs fans. You heard it here first. Charles surname Arteta is going to be Arteta out if we spank them.
Hold on. Remember their conditions. It's not about losing. It's about the way you lose. So if you beat us 2-1, that doesn't count.
Yeah, yeah, of
even if you
course.
beat us
It's a
3-1, that
spanking,
doesn't count.
spanking.
4-0. Dude, I will be an Arteta out because the truth about it is I loved Wenger so much, but the game that made me know that he had to go was when Chelsea gave us 6-0. I do not care who you are. You are 11v11. Forget all this tactics, formation, and all that. You're 11v11 at the end of the day. You shouldn't, if you're a team called Arsenal, you hold yourself in high regard like you're going to be competing. You cannot be spanked by a team 4-0. I'm sorry about that. So that
Well,
basically is why I'm putting the cards on that. If that happens, and it's not just that, it's not like it's your home, it's our home.
This is it. Exactly.
I'll be
like I
Exactly.
Arteta
said,
out.
That's
Optimus Prime has spoken.
right.
It's
So
it's it's there.
that's
It's out there. It's
it's
out
out
there in the
there.
metaverse.
So we'd love to hear from you and see what you guys think. Do you agree with me?
Nice.
Tottenham will win
Yeah.
4-0 at the Emirates. Turning points for the season for Arsenal. They're going down and. Anyway, guys,
I look forward to that.
let's just get some final words from you guys. Charles, thank you. It's been so great having you, and it's been such a lovely sport. Yeah. Tell me what do you think? I mean, overall, how do you think the match will go? Just give me a bit of a what you might call a roundup of what you think how the match will pan out, and hope. I mean, I know you said 3-1.
Yeah, I actually have a feeling like Six said that Arsenal will score first, right? And then I think there will be probably that score that comeback from Tottenham, which would now bring the game into, you know, everyone will be thinking, oh my goodness, which way is it going to go? But I have a feeling, like Arsenal has proved in the last 6 months, like coming back, a team scoring against us doesn't shake us anymore. It's like we're used to that. There was a time that Arsenal will crumble to that. It's not. It doesn't happen anymore. They actually say, "Okay, you scored, right? All right, it's time for us to pump it," and that's what I feel is going to happen. And that's probably the next two goals will come out actually in fact, it could happen that 1-0 first half, second half, you guys come back, and then the other two goals come, and it will be probably back to back. When I mean back to back, I don't mean like 1-0. I mean, one goal and then 2 minutes later. No, it could be between 10, 15 minutes. The second goal will come in, and I think the game will be dead by then.
Okay. Thanks for that roundup. Lovely optimistic roundup. I tried to resist laughing, but there you go. I mean, Chuma, I see you're resisting laughing as well. I know, but hey.
No, I'm not. It's great. It's great having Charles on. I enjoy discussing football with Charles offline as well. But I seem to remember Brighton coming to the Emirates last season and want a team with a philosophy, a well-defined philosophy and identity. Play Arsenal. The Emirates turns to the library, quiet,
Mm.
graveyard.
No, but there's
After
a
that,
reason for that, though. There's a reason for that,
no,
though.
no, no. I
You
understand. I
remember?
understand. But like I said, the
No, no, no,
Emirates
no, no,
turns
no.
to the library. The library turns to the
You're
graveyard.
right.
It's just
You're right. But remember that was when we already lost it. We already lost this Premier League. That was not the game that killed it. It was already lost. So yes, they were trying
but
to
but yeah,
go,
but it was
but
it was
they were
the
playing
Emirates,
without
and
confidence.
Arsenal tried to win that game. So, like I said,
True.
when you come up against a team with a good philosophy, it's been they can shake you, and it's possible for Arsenal to be shaken as well. I think you come away with a lot of confidence after the PSV game. But funny enough, if you ask people on my other groups, I predicted the scoreline for the PSV match. I said Peter Bosch is their manager. He comes in, he likes to attack, he likes to open up. I said Arsenal will just eat these guys alive, and Arsenal did it, and they took a lot of confidence from the game because I think Arsenal fans have been expecting a bit more from their team, even though you've been playing well or you've been winning. They expect more. It's now getting to that point where the expectation levels are getting higher. So winning that game as well as you did against PSV, I think it's raised your morale. And I think also the fact that you're in Champions League, it will count. It could serve as a disadvantage because Tottenham aren't playing in Europe and then we've had 8 days to prepare. But I think you use that. Arteta will use that as a way to motivate his players as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to Arsenal like really, really taking it to Spurs. Now Spurs also taking it back to them. And I think Ange Postecoglou plays football with a chip on his shoulder, and I think his players are inheriting that as well. So it'll be a good game, and there'll be goals. It's just I believe the goals will favor Tottenham. That's all. But
Great
good
stuff.
game all the same.
Great stuff. Thank you guys. It's been absolutely fantastic having you. And yeah, we very much looking forward to the match, and of course post-match live stream, of course, which I'm sure you'll join us for. Oh, can Charles join us for that one as well? Is it possible?
Well, if you know, if he's not going to hide behind his tears after the 4-0, why not? Why not? He's very welcome. He's very welcome.
It's on Sunday.
So straight after the game, yeah.
4:45.
4:45.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're free.
If you're free. Crying, I might be crying, but if you're not,
or you might be drinking too much champagne. One of the two.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, any which way we're here, you know.
Okay.
Any which way we're here. But yeah, it's
thanks, bro.
Beautiful. God bless you all, and thank you so much. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.